How's everyone doing today? Are you all dried out from yesterday? How about that rain we had yesterday? And we need water in Florida. They always say, we're going to run out of water. I don't think we're going to run out of water. Is it usable though? From the sky, yes. So hey, thank you for coming out today. We are at Daytona Beach 1 Million Cups, brought to you by the Kaufman Foundation. Do we have anyone here for the very first time? Well, welcome. Thank you for coming out. The room is full. It's summertime. It's warm. People are vacationing, and we're glad you took the time to come out and see us. This is Daytona Cinematique. They offer us the opportunity to be here every week. They have events that go on all throughout the week. There's calendars throughout this room. Please share that information. Some great things go here. Comedy, movies, all kinds of good things. So we want to reach out. Hey, Jed, thank you for letting us be here. Also, Volusia County Economic Development, that funds us. That's very important. They have the funding to rent this space. So they're a big supporter of ours. All throughout the country, the Kaufman Foundation has 1 Million Cups, offering an opportunity for entrepreneurs to share their story. And that's what this is all about. And it gives you an opportunity to give feedback. They're here for help. They're here to share and also to learn. So we're going to give you an opportunity to ask some questions and give some feedback. I'm one of the organizers along with Tom, Charlie, Carlos. As you see, we are Team 1 Million Cups. We're wearing our shirts today. We are always looking for volunteers to help us out. And what we try to do is reach out to people that might want to be here and share their story, and also fill in when we can't be here. So just talk to one of us and we'll share you and share how much we get paid. It's a lot of fun. So today we have Chris Attaway Consulting. So let's give him a nice, warm welcome. Chris?
I'm the shortest one in my family, so I guess I need to step up on the stage. So thanks, guys. We'll try to be quick. Really looking for input. Those lights are bright, aren't they? Really trying to look for input from you guys. So let's go. So what I do basically is lower costs, increase profits, and make employees happy. That's it. Got any questions? So that's all I do. So what we do is game changer. So immediately cut costs, payroll goes down, workers' comp goes down, increase your profits, pay employees more so their paychecks go up, their take-home pay goes up, all at no cost to you and no cost to the employees ever. And then lower the employees' out-of-pocket expenses. Average about, the paychecks go up on average about $1,500 a year, although I've seen as much as $5,000 a year. You know, a higher tax state, that kind of thing. Expenses go down by about $500 per year per employee. So happier and healthier employees, we typically see about a 30 to 40% reduction in employee turnover. So I don't know if you've ever done the numbers on employee turnover, but it's pretty expensive. So that's kind of what we do. So it's the best, here's the best part. So I put Voldemort, anybody Harry Potter fans? So I mention his name because it gives him power, right? And so we won't talk about health insurance. And that's one of the biggest things that I have to overcome. I'm not selling health insurance. So this is a different strategy. So it doesn't interfere. It actually works with any benefits that you may offer. No additional work for your staff. No cost to you or your employees ever. And we've been doing this, I've only been doing this for a while, bringing this to Daytona. But as a company, they've been doing it for 8 years, have over 1,000 companies using our strategy, and we've never lost one. So we've kept all of our clients. Anybody else say that? Nope, so pretty good. And employees love it. So we have between a 90 and 95% across 1,000 companies employee opt-in rate. So employees love it. So I won't bore you too much with me, but born here, at least 3rd generation Daytona Beach, I don't even know. And I believe in this community, and I love small business, and small business is the heart. So, you know, NASCAR, got that in my family, we'll talk about that a little bit. But I want to give the small businesses in this community every financial edge we can get. So that's what we're doing. So, you know, I've been there, had small business with employees, and how did I give them benefits, right? And then especially in the last 15 years, we've seen benefits costs spiral, right? Up and up and up. As much as 30% of a company's revenue is benefit costs, right? And how do you get out of that? And I know what we did is I used to give my employees pay 75% of their health insurance coverage, for example, and pay 50% for their family. And then when it kept going up, I cut out the family, and then I lowered my participation with the employees. And then after that, when it still kept going up, I looked for other things that I had to cut, right? And so that's just what happened. I said we're not going to talk about health insurance, but how we work with health insurance. Piggly Wiggly has been one of our customers for 6 years. They have not had a health insurance premium increase for 6 years during that time. So the normal premium increase is between 10 and 20% a year. So pretty impressive. And they're pretty happy. So a lot of these are bigger companies, but just take 100 employees. I will reduce their expenses by about $71,000 a year immediately. The employees' paychecks will go up about $150,000 a year and get more benefits. So just did a cleaning business, cut their expenses. They only have 15 employees. That's more relevant probably to many of us. Cut the employer's cost about $10,500 a year, and the employees' paychecks go a little over $22,000 a year. And they weren't offered benefits, now they are. So who's this for? Any business with 10 full-time employees. Businesses who don't offer benefits, this is the biggest no-brainer, really. Employers who already offer benefits but are kind of stuck in that never-ending spiral, and the cost of talent. 80% of employers say they're having a hard time hiring and retaining the best employees. So we help with that. Unions, county governments. Our largest customer is Miami-Dade County. We have 30,000 employees. Out of 30,000 employees, 29,000, almost 29,000 opted into it. So that's just anything. So who's it not for? I wanted to have a little fun with this. So it's not for people with smaller, although I can help if you're really interested through a different strategy. But people who don't care about their employees. So that's really it. So people have so much money they don't care about the cost. So how's this benefit the employee? The employer. So those that are struggling to attract the top talent. Employee turnover increases when you don't offer benefits, leading to higher recruitment, training, all those things. And then productivity suffers when employees have to worry about their health. True story, I had one of my companies, a single mother of a 3-year-old, was on her plan. Her daughter got a high fever, 2 o'clock in the morning. Within under 10 minutes, she had a provider on video. The provider looked up her zip code, phoned in a prescription to a pharmacy that was open 24 hours, and mom went and picked up the prescription. Right? And that was peace of mind for the mother and the daughter, and helped out. Plus, like I mentioned, so the trainees are not as proficient as experienced workers. So, and the company reputation takes a hit. In this meeting a few months ago, somebody told me to go find an employer. One of the reasons they left was because they didn't offer any benefits. So I've heard that even in this meeting. So you're probably, hopefully, wondering what this is, right? What this is about. How do I do this? So it's unique. It's the only strategy like this in the country. It is a tax-saving strategy wrapped in a health management solution. So tax-saving strategy is equivalent to a 401k or Terry Aflac, works the same way. So it lowers the adjusted gross income, and that pays for the health management plan. So the tax savings on both sides pays for the plan. So that's what happens, and it's good for employees, their families. There's parts for the families as well as their pets. So we have virtual vet calls for cows, dogs, cats, and in Florida they can also prescribe drugs for the pets. So I don't know if you've been to a vet, but it's quite expensive. So immediate cost reduction for the employers, increased profit margins, happier, healthy employees. So, you know, those are next. Reduce hiring and training costs. So, I mentioned this, about $1,500 a year for the employees on average. The highest I've seen is about $5,000. That's in a higher tax state, like California. So they go from good benefits or no benefits to and best. And then stress relief. You have a little bit more money in your pocket. Who wouldn't like an extra $1,500, right? So a little money in your pocket, and you know if you're struggling, you can go see a doctor in person at the largest provider network in the country for free, no cost. So even if you already have Blue Cross Blue Shield, would you rather pay a $25 deductible or zero? You want to go to urgent care, would you rather pay $75 or zero, right? So that's what we do. Recognition of value. When you provide benefits to your employees, even in this marketplace, they recognize that you recognize their value, right? And so it's a wonderful thing. And healthier lifestyles. So it's an active, it's not a proactive, it's an active health management solution. Imagine, so I've cut your costs, I've helped increase profits and retain and hire employees. The one thing, and I was going to promote some people in this room, that you need is lead generation, right, and revenue. So I'm starting a podcast. We'll talk about that later. But there's a lot of people in here that do marketing. A couple of them aren't here. So me, just to tell you a little bit about me and my goals. So my goal for this town is I would love to have 5,000 local employees. But it still benefits us if they're not here in Daytona. If we can get to that, bottom line is that will be about $13 million flowing into the economy every year. And that's not a guess, it's math. So like in Miami, where we're doing that, we're going to pump about $70 million a year into Miami-Dade County. So that's money that would go to DC. It stays in the pockets of our employers and their families. And what's really about that? Oh, I do, we'll talk about this in the last slide, but Motorsports Hall of Fame is kind of a thing of mine. My grandfather's in it. That's in Marshall T. So he won the beach race twice. If you saw the Disney movie Cars, Doc Hudson's modeled after my grandfather. I cut it out, but on that picture is the trophy from one of his beach race wins. 2 years ago, I do the invocation before the award ceremony every year. 2 years ago, I met Mario Andretti, who was introducing Paul Newman, who was the voice of Doc Hudson, so it's kind of cool. And I own that car. If you've never been to the Motorsports Hall of Fame, go. It's pretty awesome. So Yogi Berra used to say, if you come to a fork in the road, take it. So take it. This is the new way of doing it. And by changing nothing changes. If you're interested in learning more about the podcast, just text Good News Podcast to 386-232-8083. And if you want to learn more about strategy I talked about today, just text strategy to that number, and I'll get back to you. But that's really it. So why do I need help? Obviously, the company's doing well. I'm promoting this in a new market, and I really have loved the interaction with this group. It's been coming for a couple, 2-3 months. My help is what I say, getting people to the genius level. Like, how do I get to people, right? Like, how do I get this out? Because here's the thing. I know with 100% surety, if they have 10 more employees, full-time employees, and they're getting paid a decent wage, like $14 an hour or more, that I can help them. I can lower the cost. Like, there is no doubt. It's not 99%, it's 100%. But how do I get that out there? So that's all I've got. Thank you very much, guys, and I'm looking forward to your input.
How's that? There we are. Great presentation. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate that. So for the newcomers today, we're going to go around. We'll raise your hand if you have comments, questions, ideas, anything you want to talk about, any one thing you want to suggest. So Chris, I'll just bring the mic out. Just raise your hand. I'll try to acknowledge you, and we'll come around.
Hey Chris, Zach Cox, Workspace Collective. How are you today?
Great, thanks, Zach.
Excellent. Hey, I'm confused on the strategy exactly. Like, what is it?
Yeah, so it's a tax saving strategy and a health management solution.
Okay.
So basically what happens is, it takes a while to get them, there's a lot of numbers involved, right?
Yeah.
And so I only had 8 to 10 minutes to talk,
Mhm.
so you need more time.
Yep.
I need about 15 minutes just to focus on that. But basically what it does is, it's like 401k. If you've got a 401k, the difference is, with a 401k, let's say you've got an employee, they're putting in $100 a month on a 401k, right? Well, their paycheck goes down, depending on their tax scenario, let's say they only take out $87 out of their paycheck, right? Even though they're putting
Get this
100
free
away.
tax, it can be.
This works exactly like that. So Aflac, the same thing. It's called a.
Are you talking about a section 125?
It is a Section 125 cafeteria plan, absolutely.
Okay.
And those tax savings on the employer and the employee side pay for our plan. That's why I didn't tell you all the benefits, but in-person doctor visits for the employee, in-person urgent care visits for the employee, virtual visits for their entire family, prescription drugs for the entire family, etc.
So are you replacing standard health insurance? Or are you attaching to it?
Remember Voldemort?
Yeah.
I'm not replacing it.
So are you attaching to it?
No, they're two distinct things, but if you go into urgent care, I'll give you an example. My wife has Medicare.
Uh-huh.
We went to visit our son in Atlanta. At Christmas time, my wife got sick. She never gets sick. She got sick. We thought it was strep throat. We don't have a doctor's appointment. It's Christmas, right?
Yeah.
We went into urgent care. So with her Medicare Plan G, high deductible Plan G, she would have had to pay $160 with her Medicare card. She gets my card, and it cost her $0. And the drug and the prescription that the doctor prescribed for her, $0. So would you rather pay $160 or $0? So she has both. That's why a lot of people that offer health insurance.
Yep.
Your brother wrote it, right? You're not changing it, or your neighbor wrote it, or your long-term relationship. I'm not trying to get in the middle of that.
So are there premiums for your card?
No, it's $0. The tax savings pay for it. That's why it's unique. Nobody else does this.
So are you taking a percentage of the tax savings?
No, I take an exact number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, it's good. So if somebody has 100 employees, just to give you an idea, if somebody has 100 employees, their payroll is going to go down $57,000, $57,863.
Yeah, you're talking about the pre-tax benefit.
Yeah, the pre-tax, the payroll is going to go down. And then the workers' comp is going to go down because that's based on the income, right?
Based on payroll, yeah.
Yeah, on the payroll, right? The gross pay on the income, so you're adjusting the gross pay down, so workers' comp goes down. So, right, yes, what? Okay, sorry.
Hi, good morning, Diego Handel, Fiesta LLC. So I have a question. So are you sort of like an HMO or a PPO? The people, can they pick any physician, or are they on your plan? How does that work?
So that's a good question. So it's called First Health Providers Network, which is the largest network in the country. And so it's not a PPO or an HMO in that if the provider's in the network, you just go and there's no cost. Let's just say we're in Atlanta and there wasn't a provider that we could find in the network, we could still go. They would get paid the in-network charges, and then we would pay the difference if they decided to charge us that, just like current health insurance works now. So if you have Blue Cross Blue Shield and you go to an out-of-network provider, you're going to pay the overcharge for that.
So let's say in Daytona,
Mm-hmm.
if I wanted to go on your plan to a physician that I've been using, and they're not in your network, how does that work?
You just go to them, and we pay what their normal charge, and if they want to charge you about that, you would pay that out of your pocket.
Because that can add up, obviously.
It can, sure. But it's the largest provider network in the country.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's First Health. So, yep. Thank you. Good question. But we tend to think like health insurance because like with health insurance now we can only sign up as certain times of the year, unless we have an exception. This doesn't work that way. I can sign you up today. If it's employer sponsored, employee funded is the way we say it, but we can start it August 1st. We can start it anytime. So, yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Lori McMullen with your Daytona Regional Chamber of Commerce, and we greatly appreciate your membership.
It is my
Yeah,
Daytona
and-
Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, and you really immerse yourself, which we're very appreciative of. Here's a specific scenario. So say you have insurance, and then you have your plan, and there's a need for an outpatient surgery. Insurance there's a $5,000 deductible with co-insurance up to 10 grand, just making that up.
Yeah.
If the same services could be used with someone in network with your plan, is it zero?
So we're not major medical,
Okay,
right? So you're still gonna need the major medical plan.
okay.
But let's say, how did you get to that? How did you get there to know you need surgery, right? So you had to see a doctor. You had to get some sort of care first. You don't just go in and say, hey, I need surgery, right? And so the expenses leading up to that would be covered on the plan. And if you, urgent care, let's go back there. So walking in the door for urgent care is typically around $300, $350, and they include services in that cost. So anything in there would be covered.
In that scenario, would it be better to go use your insurance so that you can build up your deductible?
It could be.
I just thought.
Yeah, because they don't, no, it could be, it depends. But before you had the medical opinion, you don't know, right? But it could be, yeah.
So, my name is T. I'm with Bliss Beach. I have a mind for the back part of it, right? I used to deal with health savings accounts and flexible spending accounts a lot, and all of that was pre-tax, and it all went, at the cost of the employee. And yes, you still had your insurance, and then this pre-tax money went into an account. So is it almost like a health savings account and Teladoc had a baby? Like, I'm trying to figure out.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm trying to figure out the numbers portion. Why as an employer, if my employees have insurance,
Right.
why as an employer has that saved me money and saved my employees money?
Because and again, I wasn't trying to get into too much of specifics, but all the employees who are on the plan, the gross income goes down, and the employer pays 7.65% on a lower gross income. That's really it's the same way a 401k works, same way in any cafeteria plan works, same exact way. There's no other money that needs to be put in by the employee or the employer, none of that. And so the doctor visits are paid for. The plan itself is paid for by the tax savings.
So the money comes from whose tax savings?
There's a little bit from the employer and a little bit from the employee, more from the employee.
Thank
But
you.
the employee's paychecks go up. So on average, about $1,500 a year.
So my question is, how are you marketing it? How are you getting this out? How are you selling this concept to, I guess, only employers, right? That's what you go
Yeah, I
after.
go to employers because they sponsor it, right? They decide if they want to do it or not. And then how I'm marketing it, Carlos and I, wherever he went, are having a discussion. Yeah, so we're redoing my tech right now. And so I haven't done much serious marketing yet. And that's anything. So referrals and word of mouth is what I've been working on. And it's mostly been, quite honestly, out of Daytona. And so you don't know me, but I love this town. And it's been funny, some of the things we talked about, I think when Sharon was here, when people think of Daytona, they think 70s spring break. A lot of people I know. And I'm like, this town is so much more than that. We have such beauty, we have such wonder, and I want to be a part of that. So I'm doing things to build that out. That's why I'm pledging part of what I make to Motorsports Hall of Fame and different
different outreaches. But as far as marketing, I've got all my text being redone, and I've got a new WordPress site, hopefully this is live this week, and a lot of email and other marketing. And I've joined the chamber. I've been coming here. I'm an alignable ambassador. There's at least a few people that I invited here today, and I've been here in the last few weeks. So, just word of mouth kind of stuff mostly.
Okay, that brings me to my next question. So how do you make money if everybody's saving money here? Where do you make money? This project?
That's a great question. So the same way that the plan is paid for, I get paid a little piece out of that. So out of the savings. It's a couple bucks a month per employee.
Out of the savings.
Yep, out of the savings. So nobody pays me. Here's the process. It's about a 15-minute conversation we have. You give me your payroll, right? You send me your census, and then we meet again, and I tell you, employee by employee, how their paychecks will be affected by doing the strategy, and then we say yay or nay, and then I implement it. It usually takes a couple of weeks to implement, and then we get started. And then the employer collects their savings immediately, and then we get our money the following month. So nobody ever writes us a check for anything, until after everything's already happened.
Any other questions, comments? Last call. All right, we're gonna ask one final question here that we always ask for the 1 Million Cups community. So when we all leave today, what's the one thing that the 1MC community here in Daytona can do for Chris Attaway Consulting?
Spread the word, and if I can help you, text me. But I really do, I do want to help you, and help me by telling me how to market. Marketing is king, and I'm not good at it. So I always love that. Yeah,
Chris, I actually got a question.
yep.
Anybody local already using you?
Splash Car Wash
Splash Car Wash?
was my first, yeah.
So if I've got a couple of buddies that,
Mhm.
would you be able to put them in touch, they can have a conversation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good deal.
All right, we're gonna bring up the lights. Thanks, Chris, great job. We are here every Wednesday, 9 o'clock here at 1MC Daytona, right here at Cinematique. We post the video up on YouTube, so if you want to see a replay, you can see it up there. And we're going to do the official family photo here up on stage. Everybody come on up. We're going to take a picture with everybody with Chris up here to let everybody know how much fun we had today. Thanks a lot, guys.